Grain creations class, we're going to go ahead and design a birdhouse in Sketchup, and then we're going to actually take those plans and actually build it in real life. So first thing we want to do is we want to drag out a box and give it the dimensions of 7.5 by 5.5 inches. Hit enter, delete Sally, and let's go zoom in on that box we just created. This is going to be the bottom of your birdhouse. So if we click drag to zoom in, and we keep getting closer to that birdhouse, then we can see it with from a better angle. We're going to pull it up 3/4 of an inch, so 0.75, and this is going to represent the bottom of your birdhouse. 7.5 by 5.5 by 3/4 inch thick. This is the wood that we're going to be working with down on the bottom of your birdhouse. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to rotate so we can see the top better. And we're going to start drawing out some guides to show where the thickness of the wood going upright is going to be. So we're going to put a 3/4 inch line there. And then from that line, we're going to pull out another 5.5 inches and then another 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 of an inch from the sides and 3/4 of an inch from this side. All those lines represent the different pieces of wood that we're going to be putting upright on the bottom of our base. Follow those lines and then go ahead and delete your guides, and you should be left. This is basically the floor plan of your birdhouse. Now we're going to use those lines we drew and pull them straight up. We're going to pull them up 7.5 inches in the front first, and then we're going to rotate around to the back a little. Oh, we do want to get rid of these extra lines. We don't need them, so go ahead and delete those extra lines. We want just a solid piece. And then we're going to go ahead and pull up the back as well, 7.5 inches. And you can actually reference your other side, so if you drag across, it will be equal to the front. And then we're going to pull up the sides. And on the sides, I think we're going to pull it 4 3/4 or 4.75 inches high. And we're going to do the same to the other side. Pull it up 4 3/4 of an inch. And we're getting closer. Get rid of those extra lines on the inside that we don't need. We're going to start drawing some lines all around to separate our tops from our bottoms from our sides. So these lines will show us that the back is one piece, the bottom is one piece, and the front is one piece, and the sides are separate pieces. This is why we're drawing these lines, so that our drawing is accurate to the actual wood that we'll be using. If you get a solid green or red, that means that you're running perpendicular to that axis, so you want to make sure that you have that, and this is what it looks like when it's complete. Now what we have to do is we have to start angling our wood so that we can get 45 degrees here. So let's get our protractor, find the center, then we're going to drag down until it turns into a little X, and then drag across from there, drop that line. Okay, then you're going to do the same but in the opposite direction, and what you are left with is a 45-degree angle guide. If we take our pencil and we follow those lines, then we've got a perfect 45-degree angle roof. Rotate around. We're going to push-pull in that line to get rid of it and just be left with the 45-degree angle. We're going to do the same to the front now. Okay, next we're going to draw the roof. Now the roof is going to sit on top of these 45-degree angles that we just cut out of our birdhouse. And it's going to be actually 1/2 inch wood, not 3/4 inch wood. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a straight line out 1/2 an inch from here, so 0.5. And then we're going to draw a line at a, what would that be, a 90-degree angle straight up from this line at a 1/2 inch. sometimes it's a little tricky and you have to rotate to make sure that your line is being drawn in the right direction that we're looking for. And you can see me struggling here, but eventually I've got a line that is 90 degrees, and then I'm going to drag that line down perpendicular to the other line for 5.5 inches. This one is only going to be 5 inches. So once again, it sits right inside of the other box. Now I've got the perfect roof to sit on top of my 45-degree angles. All I got to do is pull that back to the back, reference the back, keep rotating around, and then we're going to pull this out to the back as well, and then we're going to have an enclosed birdhouse with a 45-degree angle roof. Okay, next I need to find where exactly I'm going to be drilling a hole into the birdhouse. So I'm going to get my guide, going to go in from that inside corner, and I'm going to drag that up for a total of 3.25 inches, and then I'm going to drag from the left to the center of my roof, and where those two lines intersect is where I want to put the drill out a hole. So I'm going to go ahead, grab the center, drag it out, and I'm going to make this, I believe, 1.25 inch hole right here. Then I can just pull that in, and we've got a hole inside our birdhouse. I think all that's left to do at this point is to pull out the front of the roof 1/2 inch, and then we've got a little overhang on the front. Delete your guides. The last thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to measure out all these pieces in order to make your cut list. So if you grab your guides or your tape measure and you drag it from one corner to the other, then you'll see the dimensions of the pieces, and you're going to want to write that down so that you know what you need to do as far as your cut list, what pieces of wood you're going to have to cut out. Another way to do it is to use this measuring tool. If you just grab it and then you click on one side, it'll tell you exactly what the length of that piece is, and if you grab it again, you can get all the different measurements, and you can actually notate right onto your model what is the piece and what is the dimensions. Eventually, by doing this, you'll know the dimensions of all of the pieces of your birdhouse, so make sure that you write that down and get ready to go make your cuts.